I look at that, a person who has traded their health for their business, and maybe they make $100 million or whatever it is. I don't think he's successful. I don't think he's successful at all. And maybe people would agree with me, maybe not. But my idea of success is like holistic.
Like I
Mm,
think we've all seen like the someone who's like very senior in a company who's ridiculously out of shape, or like the entrepreneur who like he's like eating takeout every day and he's like kind of chubby. He's not in shape. That might even be a more common thing that you see than the really in shape entrepreneur.
that's why I do what I do.
You know what?
Yeah.
So talk to me about it. Like for that person that is geared mentally that way, where they're thinking about their performance in the boardroom, they're thinking about their performance in, I don't know, sales, marketing, all these things. What is the value to them of working out and getting in shape?
Well, I mean, the value to them is like the enhancement of like every single area of their life. Uh, the people I speak to, especially like the entrepreneurs I speak to, the highest achievers, they want to reach their full potential in every area of life. They don't have ceilings on the things that they deem important to them. And then we talked. You mentioned about like the senior guy who's like out of shape, um, or the entrepreneur who's like always eating takeout. And here's what I say to that: it's like my concept of success is so different than the average person's concept of success. I look at that, a person who has traded their health for their business, and maybe they make $100 million or whatever it is. I don't think he's successful. I don't think he's successful at all. And maybe people would agree with me, maybe not. But my idea of success is like holistic. So the reason I actually started like helping entrepreneurs in the first place was I would like be part of like these masterminds with people, doing ridiculous numbers, like just way out of your gourd, like however much that they're making inside of their lives. And I would be almost flabbergasted when I looked at kind of like the way that they were treating their bodies. And I'm like, you have you have all of this like resource of this capital resource right here. And what I see is a glass ceiling that you've placed upon yourself about how healthy that you can be. You look at trading your time for fitness as maybe like a liability, when the reality is like the biggest asset that you have. So every single time that we put an entrepreneur through our program, every single time, we have seen the most amazing things. Like number one is like they increase their earning capacity. So anytime that you're feeling more energy, anytime that you're feeling healthier, anytime you're feeling more confident, that is going to bleed over into what you do for a living. That's number one, right? Number two is, hey, guess what? Like with that energy, with that capacity to focus, with looking better, with being a better example, guess what? You're a better family man or a family person. You're a better husband. You're a better parent. You're a better wife. So I look at kind of like the aspect of taking care of your body and the reason why I do what I do as a way in which to unlock the potential of every single entrepreneur that comes into my circle of influence. And for me, it's like it's just beautiful when I see them kind of like open up, see how simple getting in shape can be, see how streamlined it can be, especially with like their resources. And I just love the aspect of them taking control of the one thing that they actually do have control over, which is their health and their body. So to that, like to the entrepreneurs, like I don't know about this whole health thing. I can just like be the fat man and the red BMW and do all this kind of stuff. And cool, that's cool for you, right? My concept of success is not it's not about money. It's actually about number one, like how well are you taking care of your body? How well are you taking care of your family? How present are you with your children? Uh, what are you doing to actually impact other people and help them? Are you living up to the thing that you were meant to do on this world? or are you just taking the easy path, the most comfortable path that makes you the most money? And yes, do you have like earning capacity? Can you provide a living for both yourself and a comfortable living for your family? So everybody reveres these entrepreneurs who are like making all these millions of dollars. And to that, I say, great, good for them. My idea of success is way different. And I feel like with a lot of people, especially entrepreneurs, they have this like self-limiting mindset where it's like, I can only have this if I sacrifice my family and my health to do it. When the reality is that, hey, if you can think as well as you could, why not create an environment and a situation for yourself to actually have it all? Like, what would that look like? Right? So that's the way I approach success. That's the way I approach success with my entrepreneurs and the people that work with me. And I do believe that everyone can have it all. It's just a matter of thought, organizing your life in a way which actually expresses your priorities, and doing so and making sure that you're creating boundaries for the things that matter most to you.
No, that's interesting. That's interesting. The thought of like, and you're right, it is a self-limiting belief, right? Because and it's actually an interesting debate having it all, because and I don't really even know where I land on it, because sometimes I think about it and I'm like, there's a cost to everything, right? Like if I want this podcast to be the #1 podcast, and say it does achieve that, there would have been a cost in terms of time spent away from other people, time I could have spent doing something else. At certain points, it will impact my health, like my sleep and different things.
Will it
And
though?
what do you mean by that?
Because you're thinking of the cost as like the things that you are already thinking that you have to trade for the success that you want. Right? You're like, oh, I'm going to lose sleep. Oh, I'm not going to be able to see my friends. I'm not going to be able to see my family. Oh, I'm going to be working like 19, 20 hours a day, or like whatever it is, right? You like when you say these things, you're already putting these obligations on you and these beliefs on you. I think about it like this. This is what I want. This is the lifestyle I want. How can I create an environment for myself to have what I want while also having the lifestyle that I want? And then that takes some thought, because then you have to create boundaries for yourself, right? Maybe you're choosing to go maybe a little bit of a slower path, and that's okay. But what you are already doing, which is what a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people do, is like, well, I have to like trade everything for this and whatever. It's like, no, then that means you lose yourself, right? Why don't you keep yourself, keep the things that you love while being a successful podcaster? And there are ways to do it. There are ways to have a life and to have your cake and eat it too. So yeah, that's the big challenge that I would throw at you. And it's like, what is your system? What is the thing that you're going to do every single day? Does this mean that, if Ray Dalio wants to like interview with you and he only has like 9 p.m. at night at, whatever time zone that you're in? Yeah, sure. You're going to take that for sure. Does it mean that you're going to have to do that every single time? No. At some point in time, you're going to be so successful that people are going to be wanting to go under your schedule. People are going to be wanting to schedule themselves under you and go to you in wherever you are in New York, right? So that's like the way I kind of like think about things. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? As you were saying that, I was thinking, it is a self-limiting belief, right? And I was thinking, where does that come from? Like, why is that the case? Why? Because really, and we spoke about identity kind of throughout this whole thing. It's, do I believe that I can get this nice like lifestyle? I can get the lifestyle that I'd want and do the work that I would want. It almost sounds almost sounds like too idyllic, like too dreamlike. It doesn't.
It depends on who you're getting your advice from.